We are back for the build-up to Global Champions League Round 2. We are in Riesenbeck. The sun is shining. The German countryside is playing our host, and we are getting ready for the second half of the day. Welcome back. An entertaining and intriguing opening round of Global Champions League. And we now get ready to take a look at what's going to happen for GCL Round 2. There are going to be a handful of changes that take place. In case you aren't aware, from GCL Round 1 to GCL Round 2, managers have the opportunity to provide different riders, to provide different horses. They can make strategic changes between the two rounds to try and improve their overall performance come the end of the night. Our man on the ground is Dan Strange. Let's go to him for the first time for GCL Round 2 and get an understanding as to how some of those changes look. Dan, let's talk about some changes that have or have not been made. What stands out for you on that start list?
Paris Panthers are the only team completely unchanged, so the bottom team in the GCL change nothing. There are 7 teams that change both horses. That includes Valkenswaard United, the league leaders in the GCL, and CanStars, who lead, of course, after round 1 here. Shanghai Swans going so well this season. They rest Christian Arman in round 2. They bring in Katrina Romberg on Kuma 5. She comes in for round 2. Stockholm Hearts, not a massive surprise here. Malin Bayer Johnson brings in H&M Indiana. That's their only horse change. Prague Lions, well, they can't change their riders because FMS and Niels Brunsils are the only riders here. They do change horses. Origi van der Vosberg and Job, who won, of course, a job in Valkenswaard, come in. For the bottom team from round 1, New York Empire, Dennis Lynch is retained and he stays on Nespresso. Mikey Pender changes, unsurprisingly, onto HHS Los Angeles, which is quite apt, with us all off to New York next week. Those, Mark, are the changes for round 2.
All right, Dan Strange, thank you very much. I'm trying to see what's happening with the coursework that's behind us right now. Officially underway, Dan Strange, thank you very much. We're going to have a word with some of these riders. We're also going to try and bring some of the managers in. I think that maybe Geert Gulliksen is going to be available later on. The Scandinavian Vikings will be delighted with where they find themselves. As it stands, 3rd on the provisional rankings, only behind the Valkenswaard United team and only behind the CanStars. So, is there an opportunity here this afternoon for the riders from the Scandinavian Vikings to make up some serious ground? That is an opportunity. But based on the virtual rankings, we love to play the virtual rankings game. If things were to end right now, if there was no second round of GCL, what then would the table look like? Well, Valkenswaard United, who are currently in 2nd place, would now see themselves stay in 1st place. The CanStars, who lead here today, would take maximum points and climb into 2nd place. While the Shanghai Swans, who had a rather heavy penalty count, I'm afraid will not take home a huge amount of points and will therefore drop down to 3rd. There will be changes for the Istanbul Warriors and for the Saint-Tropez Pirates, who would both climb, and there would be more movement on the 2nd page as well of the 2nd page of riders. There'll be a lot of movement there as well based on what has taken place thus far. Mexico, drop. New York Empire, drop. Rome Gladiators and the Stockholm Hearts, who continue to struggle quite remarkably in 2025, would drop down as well. They would then only be a handful of points ahead of the Paris Panthers, who find themselves in last place. And as it stands right now, thanks to the new rules that have now been introduced in 2025, the team that is at the bottom of the table come the end of the season, at the end of Riyadh later on this year in the finals, the team that is in last place will not go to the GC Prague playoffs. That is the big consequence of finishing in last place at the end of the season. The Paris Panthers are fighting for their lives, and somehow the Stockholm Hearts have now been brought into that conversation as well. A team that once fought at the top of the championship for a GCL title is now somehow fighting to try and get itself into the GCL Super Cup quarterfinals at the end of the year. That now is amazing, how quickly the wheel can turn in the world of show jumping, how quickly things can change in the world of show jumping. We'll see if we can get some thoughts from some of the riders. Once again, back down to Dan Strange. Let's get some thoughts. Marcus Eining, a local legend, a local hero, standing by with Dan Strange.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Marcus Eining, local hero, local legend. Mark has just called you. We all know that's true. Clear in round one. Just jump back to round one briefly. How did the team see it? It was good for you? Was it perfect? Obviously not perfect, but was it good?
Was nearly perfect. Was a shame with Hansi, he had one down, but we're still in the lead with some others and still the chance on the podium. That was very important. I was very happy with my round and I think Priam showed that he deserved the clear round.
Priam de Rosset just keeps getting better and better.
I don't know if he keeps getting better and better, but I think for us he's a very safe horse for the teams. Mostly he's clear or he's 4, so that is very important that you be consistent over the whole year.
You bring 2 new horses in for round 2. Just tell everyone at home who comes in and what we can expect.
Yeah, Hansi is riding Elysium, actually his best horse, and he also really likes the grass rings. I have Coolio. Also my best one, and yeah, I hope for a second round.
It was a difficult first round for a lot of teams. Surely now it's about potentially playing it safe to make sure you maximise the points, get on the podium, even if that means maybe not winning. Is that fair?
Yeah, even this place is even between 1 and 8 is important to get the points, to be in the all-over standing, to get some money. So that is also very important. Cannot be always on the podium, but that you don't lose too many points if you're too far behind.
Well, top of the table, Valkenswaard United. Let's hope for you, Marcus. You're on top again at the end of round 2. Thank you for your time, Marcus Eining. Good luck, Valkenswaard United. Mark, back to you in the studio.
It's not just me, by the way. It's practically the entire show jumping world that would identify Marcus Eining as one of their favorite riders of all time, I assure you. The young spring chicken that is Geert Gulliksen just came running through this giant grass ring to join us after his course walk. Welcome to the show, Geert. You still look very sharp, very young, very quick on the feet there. I was impressed. Athletic.
I'm only 65, so...
Young man at heart.
And my dad is 99, he's 100 in 2 months, so...
Really?
So I have a long way to go.
That is some good family genes. 99. Wow. All right. Well, that is something to aspire to. You've just finished the course walk. Talk to me about what you've just been able to go and do there. What are we looking at for round 2?
I think it's fair course. And, you know, if you take in consideration the ground is a little bit soft, it's actually holding up better than I thought, you know, and... But they've been very clever the way they build the triple combination. The oxy going out is not so wide, it's tall, it's 156 high, but it's like a double rack, they say here in Germany. But it looks it's fair, you know, and the rest is also, I think, a fair course, you know. And you have like 1 to 2. Okay, you can see different. It's a long way, 9, 10, whatever, you know. And the same from 3 to 4 is quite a bend to the combination. Then I think it's a 6 short one to the wall and quite normal 5 then after to the oxa, and then you have a long way to double verticals, which is fine, and then you have 6 strides there to the water, from the triple butt to the water. Then you had 9 or 10, I would say, outside to the oxa, and then you have the plank and the oxa on its own in the end.
I'm sure you're very happy with GCL round 1. Again, just to remind you that Scandinavian Vikings, currently the 3rd best team. There will be 3rd last to go. Were you surprised by some of the scores you saw in GCL round 1? Often we're looking for double clears and clean sheets, and now here you are on 5 and potentially staring down at a podium in the early stage. Were you surprised by what you saw in GCL round 1?
No, but you can see that sometimes, you know, when it comes pressure on, and, you know, like it's all different type of riders. These old riders with younger horses and young riders with less experience. You know, you see that all the time. And the course is...
Independent jumping an 8-year-old today.
Yeah.
An 8-year-old.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So, I mean, these courses are not easy. They're very hard to jump, both first and the second round. So you need good riders and good horses.
Talk to me about round 2. I see a horse change. What was the thinking behind that, to have you to make the horse change?
No, because we have now 3 shows in a row. So he's going to jump... that one in the Grand Prix tomorrow, and the one here right now, Cannon Jr., is going to go to New York, fly tomorrow together with Neil Source normally, and they have the same team there next week, you know. So that's the plan, you know. So
Talk to me about next week in New York. Everyone very excited to get back to New York, to have the show back on USA. It does take a lot of planning. It takes a lot of pre-planning. Balancing Riesenbeck when you know you have a long-distance flight next week. How has that been for the team? It's obviously part of strategic thinking that is required in the GC.
This has been very hard and to get it together, But luckily, the rider corporates, they're like Neil and Yuri, they're fantastic human beings, who's doing very good for the team. They're team people, they want to work for the team. So that's why we agreed that they do the team here. And those horses jumping here, which jump in New York, they fly in the morning to New York, so they will be there tomorrow afternoon. And then they can rest for a few days before they jump there again. And that's why, like Kilman Sit, from Your Freeling, will jump the Grand Prix tomorrow normally.
Okay. Expecting a lot of clears in round 2, or we're going to see fences fall?
Yeah, I would say, I thought the first round relatively was probably could be more difficult, but I think the second round is fair. Not fair, it's not unfair, the first one, but I think it's a nice course. I think you will see more clears, but when you have double verticals like here, you have the vertical after the triple bar with a big water, very big water behind, which drag the horses deep, I think there will come faults everywhere, and when the pressure comes in, yeah, it's going to be excitement.
All right, let's see how it goes. Gillickson, thank you very much. Best of luck to the Scandinavian Vikings. In great shape at the end of GCL round 1. Let's go back and get started. GCL round 2 is next.